So I have a love of Tiffany style stained glass. And it's funny because I don't even really have any in our home. We just don't have that kind of space, but I am attracted to them. I'm attracted to buying them. Now, this one was in one of my local antique malls, and so when I saw it, I don't even think I filmed it. I was just like, $75, snap that up, grab it, because that's a $225 lamp all day long in this area. And then I'm like, okay, why? Why is it $75? Now, as a reseller, if something is broken, I will add, well, I try to fix things as best as I can, but there's just things. There's just like, when it comes to a little chip on a piece of glass or something like that, I do as found, as is. I might like describe it, like what it is if I have room on the tag. You only have so much room on your tag, but at least that lets the buyer know, potential buyer, that there's something wrong with the piece, so check it over. So I'm like, $75, there's no as is, there's no as found. So I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, where's the broken glass? Because I can't fix broken glass. I have nothing. And I'm like, I'm studying it and I'm not finding any brokenness. So I'm like, okay. I know I have two. So I'm like, okay, $75, no broken glass. I'm taking this. Oh my gosh, that's like a go home and dust it a little bit more quick sell. Because yeah, they don't last in our booth. And so when I start to grab this, I'm like, oh. Well, first I always look because I'm like, I don't know why I don't like the corkscrew. I like a nice clear bulb in a Tiffany lamp. That's just me, because yeah, I know those were trending a while ago. But then as I'm picking this up, I'm like, oh, do you see it? Oh, I don't even know how that happened, how that even got broken. So I'm like, okay, beautiful lamp. It's been here for a while. People finally did notice it. Well, the lady at the register, because I go in all the time to, I hit my local antique malls all the time. She goes, where's the as is tag? She goes, a customer brought this up and I put an as is tag on there because when we took the base off from the shade, I saw that and he didn't want it, of course, because it was broken. And I'm like, so she was pointing out the brokenness to me, though, even though I already had seen the brokenness. And I'm like, it's okay, I want to try to fix it. And she's like, well, I'm just upset that he's selling something that he knows is broken because I put that as is tag on there. That is so sad. Anyway, y'all, long story short, it's in my possession now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try Bondo. I think Bondo, fill in that crack, spray paint it, make it look better. I think I can. I mean, will it be perfect? No. Will it not have a big crack in it? Yes. Bondo is your friend. And I know you see this other little guy, and this guy was like so cheap in somebody's booth, so I'm doing the same thing, 2 different booths, and I'm like, oh, why? And I can't really necessarily tell you why it was so cheap, other than you have this beautiful stained glass. Look at that. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then you have this. Then you put it on this. So I thought, if I'm going to spray paint and paint that one up to make it look better, even black paint is going to make this look better. So that's what I'm doing. That is a good bulb. Clear, shows off. So I'm just going to share the process with you, how I would repair. This is normally something I just do on my own all day long, of repairing stuff, but I thought for a little extra, if anybody wanted to check out how I would repair a broken lamp, look at, even that's darker. So yeah, who knows? Anyway, let's get some Bondo out, because I love me some Bondo, because it just fixes so many things. Though, I mean, I got a little bit of a process, and I need to keep it not very thick, so that because it's not like I'm going to be able to get in there and sand it. But let me just stop jabbering and just share the process with you. Okay, I have my Bondo. I've got some Clorox wipes. But first what I want to do is I'm going to put a piece of tape. See how there's a lip here where the two pieces were together? I looked, but the more I mess with that, the more I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to have to worry about recording, anything like that. So I'm going to stick some tape underneath there in the hopes that the Bondo doesn't stick too much to the tape, just so I don't get it on the other pieces to mess up the beautiful design. This is not, this vintage probably, not an antique. Not a real Tiffany, but it's still, it's a beautiful, gorgeous lamp. So Bondo, if you can't find it in your woodworking section, they do make a wood one. I just get the all-purpose one that they have in the, like the automotive, or reorder on Amazon. Then you mix a little bit of the hardener with it. Probably way too much. Probably don't need as much, but just whatever comes out on my knife. I just buy plastic knives because it's easier and I just throw them away. You know, we all get used to what we use and whatever works for us. So, okay. As soon as you mix Bondo up, it starts to harden, so we have to start working. So it's just going to be one of those, like, I'm just going to be filling it. I'm just going to get it in there. I'm going to fill it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wet wipe. And I'm going to start wiping some of it off the sides. Flattening it out. Because of course that's way, 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 way too much. And really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start shaping it using the wet wipes. And then I can push it in there. I'm filling where the holes are, the crevices. If I need a little bit more, I can add a little bit more. In my mind, it should just work out perfectly. I just am trying to keep the detail if I can on the sides of it. Now I'm not going to be spray painting a cord, and I do take these off. I don't, because they're not pretty. It's like the do not take it off the mattress thing. You know, it's just a warning that the manufacturer has to put out, you know, on. Like I said, I'm not spray painting the cord. I'm just going to clean that off. Usually when I sell a lamp, I will do this anyway. It just makes it look neater. Leave it so where they can, you know, if they want to test it. Already tested that it works, it turns on. I usually will take a zip strip, because a rubber band, a piece of string or anything like that, for some reason, and they always unravel it. Like, I don't know why, but that's what they do. So I always use a zip strip. I try to get it as tight as I can. And I just have to cut it off later. So then I just take a Ziploc because we're going to be spray painting this. Put that cord in there. Use a little tape around there. Take the ugly I've made in China thing off there. Don't need that either. It doesn't really matter at this point in its life. Take a light bulb out. That just tells you what type of bulb that you need to use. That piece would be coming off anyway. There again, all the things that the manufacturer has to put on there for you don't have it's not on there. So we don't want to spray inside electrical. Now these are just some rubber pieces we'll put, but I'm going to put this back on. Oops. Because the color doesn't even match. Here's a little bonus. I bought this on a whatnot. It had like a hanger, like would have stood up, but that doesn't look very nice. And I am so, yeah. So I'm just gonna take an old piece of wallpaper, some hot glue, cover that up. If I take it off, it's going to do more damage than good, but I don't know. I just like to make the back of things look pretty. So just a piece of old wallpaper. Wait till that cools so I know that it's on there. By pressing it out, I'm kind of loosening, spreading out that hot glue. It's like if you put it to the end and then you do this, then it goes over. But if you put it a little ways in, then it doesn't go over so much. So I've got 80 grit. I'm just going to go ahead and sand these edges off so they're flush. There, now it's pretty. So why this is still, it's a little bit on the soft stage still. I'm going to take a little bit of just see if I can get it out of those detailed areas. Ever so slightly. And I'm just going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol on the metal. Shop cloth. And then just clean off that dust that's on there. So I have my go-to Rust-Oleum flat black paint. I like the size of the can. I like how it sprays on. There's going to be some trickiness when I go to have to move that, but we'll deal with that later because I'm going to have to lift these up also too to get these to paint right. And so there's a little bit of moving things around. Now we'll just let that part dry, because even though you think it looks all sprayed, once I go to do that part from the underneath, you'll see pieces that you didn't get. Okay, I'm gonna start trying to sand some. Okay, I sanded quite a bit of it off, but if I get in too close, then next thing you know, I'm going to be like taking it all off, which I don't want to do. So now I'm just taking some steel wool, because of course the 80 grit kind of cut into the metal. The biggest thing is just making sure that things are flat. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. It's a fix, but better than a big old crack. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the brush on shellac, pretty much in that area where I just did that Bondo, because if I go to spray paint that without having that soak in, that's going to stick out even more, because the Bondo's just going to soak in the spray paint much differently than the rest. So not gonna hurt it. It's gonna give little extra bonding. See what happens when you lay it down? And that you're like, oh, there's a lot I didn't get. Okay, my shellac should be dry enough. We wipe that down with the rubbing alcohol also. And seal that paint in with weather defense. Well, I think it is all good. I let it dry for a few hours. So we'll just take the tape off, and I'll give you a close-up of how it turned out. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know. I mean, I know, because I know where it was from the plug, but it's not a big crack anymore. To help myself, I got some of the, who is this? Art Chemery and Antiquing wax in the soot, and I just started with my finger because it's just easier, because I think that's a little bit shiny. So, like, hey, yeah, let's test out on the small one first. And that just seems to be toning the shininess of the weather defense down. The weather defense is a great sealer, though. I use it for everything. But yeah, that's just kind of toning that down from being so shiny. one of those wipe on, wipe off kind of waxes. But see how it just tones that. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm like, okay. Using my finger again. Probably have to get a little brush. Brushes. Just do it that way. I just want to take down that shininess. So soot is like, it's a black, almost like a gray, but so is like, you know, how they do the welding. I'm not a stained glass expert, but I think I will like that a little bit toned. Just going to take some rubbing alcohol, and we're going to see if we can get this glass to spiffy shine a little bit, because it is dusty. I'm going to ask $225 for something. Try to make it look as nice as we can, right? Even those old patinaed pieces of wood, pantry boxes, firkins. Doesn't hurt to try.